When a woman outgrows a relationship, this is a serious topic because it can change your whole future, so stay with us. If you've not subscribed, I want you to hit that button and subscribe. We have so many helpful videos there for you in your life and your relationships. And if you have a question, put it in the box. Now, I realize women and men are watching me, so I want to talk about this very sensitively because there's a lot of premises I need to deal with. Now, I've been a psychologist. I've been working with people for over 40 years, and I've seen thousands of couples. So I want to give you a couple premises before we actually get to some of this topic. Number one is, I do believe people kind of go in different camps as far as their own personal DNA. There are people who I call stabilizers, who really, in their life, their primary goal is really to stay the same. They're good people. They make good decisions. They're usually great at getting things done. Change is not of interest to them. Sameness is really of interest to them. The same tradition, the same rituals. And that's really kind of who they are. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then I see this other category of persons that I've seen in my career called evolvers. Evolvers never want to stay the same. They always want to grow in some way, spiritually, emotionally, sexually, financially, artistically. They'll even come up with ways to grow just to grow. It's who they are. They're like the tree with many branches, and they always want to bear fruit. They always want to push out, and they usually have, really big desires. Okay, maybe they want to get several degrees, or they want to get certified in this or trained in that, and they want to travel and hear this speaker and go to that conference and this event, and it's very busy. Their mind is always growing. It's always seeking more. Now, the issue here is if we're in a relationship and one is a stabilizer aiming for the same and one is an evolver, you can see the natural conflict. An evolver is always going to outgrow a stabilizer, no matter if they're married to them or not, no matter if they're in a romantic relationship with them or not. Okay, even an evolver will sometimes evolve in different ways and outgrow each other because they're seeking different directions. So it's, first of all, accepting which kind of box you fit in there. And not that people can be totally in boxes, but it helps to have a language. Okay, I'm an evolver. That's why I keep producing videos and books. And I've written almost 50 books, and I do TV shows. I do all this stuff because I love to evolve. I love to grow. But stabilizers bring really good things. And what I find out is when you're young and you're in 20s and you're getting married, oftentimes an evolver is attracted to a stabilizer because they have a steady income. They have a job. They're not trying to change the world. And if, say, a female evolver marries a male, right, who is stable, well, she wants to do all this stuff. Well, all this stuff takes time and money, and he's providing it, and he's doing the right things. He's a good guy. There's nothing wrong. Here's where it breaks down. When a woman starts evolving past the situation, and the meaning becomes disrespect. The meaning becomes you're not like me, so you're not as good as me. Instead of appreciating that they do like to do traditions and they bring value to you. You like those Christmas things. You like the birthday traditions. You like having family over. You like the things they bring to your relationships. And if you can highlight what they bring to you, you won't have to evolve outside of the relationship. You can accept the strengths they bring to your relationship. Now, however, this can also bring a breaking point. If we move to disrespect, if we move to discontent, if we can't value one another or hear one another, then you're going to outgrow. It doesn't matter if you're business partners. It doesn't matter if you're friends. You outgrow friends over every season of life. Most people don't have the same friends at their 60s when they do when they're in high school or in their 20s or when they have kids or when the kids leave the house. Your friends change, right? So that is one of the problems. And then there's kind of an alpha beta model, which is, again, maybe you have an alpha male, alpha female who's just driven to be successful. She could start companies. She can have one big company. She can have employees. She can have a big vision. She can have a big channel or influencer. And she's just growing and blowing. And maybe he helps a lot with that. Maybe he comes along and he's not the alpha. He's the beta male. And he supports and he organizes and he does the finances and gets things done. And yet she feels that she's continuing out there growing and expanding. But she's expanding because he's supporting. Every tree needs roots. And again, what happens here is if she says you're not a man because you're not like me, and there are evolver men and there are stabilizer women, okay? But if he's a beta, he's like, I don't have a vision to change the world. I just want to do a job, show up, feel good about what I do, maybe help people. I'm not driven like that. I want to come home at 5 o'clock and enjoy my pool and kids and, take a walk with my dog. And my life is good and easy. And again, this alpha beta model is very similar to what we talked about before. If there's mutual respect for what each other brings, okay, the beta male is not going to go bring a lot of stimulation to the marriage or relationship or life, but can enjoy it. She can enjoy those stable times at home and the comfort he brings by being the safe place. He's not competing with her. He's complementing her. But if you start evolving outside, if you start evolving and growing, you have a couple choices. One, what I'm talking about is respecting the things that you do have together, enjoy those, and negotiate permission, and not permission, but the space to evolve in how you want to evolve and also maintain the relationship. If you can do that, that's probably best for everyone, but sometimes it can't be negotiated because of the personalities in the past or the hurts that are involved. Okay, but if you can, that's great. Negotiate that. Like, I need a certain time to go to these conferences or do these trainings, or, my business requires this, but Saturday morning, it's our time. I don't evolve. I do whatever you want to do. If you want to just go for a walk with the dog, I want to do that. I want to be with you. I need that stable downtime as well. I appreciate that you bring that to me. But, on Thursday night, I need to be at this thing, and it's going to be, 6 months long, taking classes or doing whatever, just to kind of be who I am. And again, if you can accept the alpha beta model or the evolver stabilizer model, maybe you can bring respect and honor to a relationship that you do have. Now, if you're evolving and there starts to be meaning involved, and this is why I'm talking about this, it's the meaning you give the difference between evolving and not evolving. Okay, someone not evolving is not bad, stupid, ignorant, unimportant, or useless because they don't want to make the world a better place. If you haven't noticed, the world hasn't really changed much as far as being a better place over thousands of years. We still kill each other. We still persecute certain groups. We still hate. There's so many things that are still the same. And so not everyone feels driven. But the world's not exactly the same place because people that are driven have brought us new technologies, made life easier, and provide businesses and wealth to people. So both are true. But if the meaning becomes, you're less than me, this is where the pressure to want to leave is going to come. And you're going to have to negotiate based on your relationship and the strength of the skills. If you don't have emotional skills, you don't know how to do feelings, you don't know how to share feelings and communicate, I'd recommend 2 books, Emotional Fitness for both of you, because just because you're successful and bright does not mean you know how to share your heart, okay? And also Intimacy, 100-Day Guide to Lasting Relationships, to help you just focus on the structure of your relationship to see if the evolution can be absorbed inside the relationship. Now, of course, if you're trying to evolve in ways that would have infidelity or other issues involved, then it's probably going to damage each other and damage the relationship. I've never seen that really work, and I've counseled many couples who've tried it. So if you can change the meaning, you can maybe change the outcome of not outgrowing the person, but negotiating growth within that situation. If you can't negotiate that, space can't be given for you to evolve, your development is looked at as trivial, insignificant, you're never happy, you can't be changed, and all these judgments and resentments are going that way, well, then you can't stay in that environment with such negativity all the time. And so then you'll be forced to decide between evolving or not evolving, and that may end the relationship. I would say this: if you're in a situation where you need to talk about this, talk to a safe person, talk to a counselor about the pros and cons of your situation. Evolving doesn't mean you have to leave a relationship. It means you need to navigate how that relationship fits into evolving. If it has to be exclusively one or the other, definitely get some help so that you, when you move into your future, you don't have any regrets or resentments about the choices you've made. And I would suggest that you talk to someone intelligent. You can call someone heart to heart, 719-278-3708. We've handled a lot of these kind of issues over the many years. And I would encourage you to really evaluate if it's really an evolution issue or if it's a lack of intimacy. Like, I know some people, they're married to what I call intimacy anorexics. And if you've never heard that term, I want you to look it up on Google. Go to intimacyanorexia.com. But they're too busy for you. They blame you. They withhold love from you. They withhold praise from you. Sometimes they withhold sex, or they're disconnected during sex. They're unwilling or unable to share their feelings with you. They have criticism of you. You basically feel married and alone. Well, you're not necessarily evolving past them. What it is that you're in so much pain that you can't take the pain anymore. And if you want to evolve, i.e. have an intimate relationship, and they're unwilling to have that with you, then that's a whole nother topic and a whole nother situation that is mendable if the person wants to change, and nothing is mendable if someone doesn't want to change. Well, I hope this encourages you, maybe just to have some ideas and thoughts about the situation you're in. If we can be of help, of course, we're always available for you. Call us, and if you haven't subscribed, please do.